What are the 4 steps to transform a city? Listen to Poncho Murguia, who was used by God to transform Juarez, Mexico, from the murder capital of the world to one of the safest cities in Mexico. He shares with us today the 4 steps to transform our city. Let's do this for the city of New Orleans. Where do we start in order to turn around the violence in our city? What would you say to us?
Well, everything had to start with prayer. What happened in Juarez, I don't think is a recipe to be copied all over the world, but the principles are the ones who work. I would say prayer, which you have done and you're doing, and the next step that I see after prayer is faith. We have to believe that God can change our city. We have to even without understanding how or the details, we have to believe. We have to take a step of faith and work and do what we need to do, having that trust and confidence that God is going to do it. And then the third step, the third ingredient, I would say, is love for our city. We to me, one of the things that happened was that the John 3:16, for God so much loved the world, it became with a new meaning because love God, the world so much that he gave his son. And within the world, we're included, but also the nations and the cities and the businesses and the governments and everything. And so I came to a point a few years before that where God revealed to me that I wasn't loving my city. So I repented, and then I decided to love my city. Mm-hmm. And I believe that was part of the burden that moved us to take risks and do whatever God asks us to do. So those 3 ingredients: prayer, faith, love for the city. And then the 4th one would be whatever the Holy Spirit says. We need to we need to listen to what the Holy Spirit says, because there's no formula that works automatically in every city. It is the formula of the Holy Spirit. The plan is not what we did in Juarez, but the plan is God, is the Holy Spirit. So and within that, some of the things we learn is to obey the Holy Spirit, whatever they told you to do. He tells you to do without any hesitance. Do it by faith, fully by love. And don't get mixed up on how this going to work to have the result of lowering the violence in my city. That's God's department. Sometimes we try to connect the dots and reasonably understand that this is what we're doing, and it's going to happen 1 week, 2 weeks, and within a year or a year and a half, the violence is going to come down. If we do that, we start getting into our story and our reasoning. And what we learn is we just responsible for obeying what God tells us to do. Outside of that, it's his responsibility. It's his doing. And that's something that we learn, because at first we try to strategize how to change the city, how to transform the city. And we came to the conclusion that, who are we? We cannot do it. The only one who can do it is the Holy Spirit. What we need to do is obey him in whatever he tells us.